Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Do you not see how necessary a world of pains and troubles is to school and intelligence and make it a soul? I almost wish we were butterflies and lived but free summer days, free such days. With you I could fill with more delight than 50 common years could ever contain. Give me books, French wine, fruit fine, weather, and a little music played out of doors by somebody I do not know. The poetry of the earth is never dead. A touch has a memory. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. I have been astonished that men can die martyrs for their religion. I have shuddered at it. I shudder no more. I could be martyred for my religion. Love is my religion, and I could die for that. I could die for you. My creed is love, and you are its only tenet. And nothing ever becomes real till it is experienced. I am certain of nothing but the holiness of the heart's affections and the truth of the imagination. I am in that temper that if I were under water, I would scarcely kick to come to the top. Beauty is truth, beauty, that is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know. 'Tis the watching time of night. Orbed is the moon and bright, and the stars they glisten, seeming with bright eyes to listen. Life is but a day, a fragile dewdrop on its perilous way from a tree's summit. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Therefore ye soft pipes play on. I have good reason to be content, for thank God I can read and perhaps understand Shakespeare to his depths. I want a brighter word than bright. I can't not exist without you. I am forgetful of everything, but seeing you again, my life seems to stop there. I see no further. You have absorbed me. I have a sensation at the present moment as though I were dissolving. I have been astonished that men could die martyrs for religion. I have shuddered at it. I shudder no more. I could be martyred for my religion. Love is my religion. I could die for that. I could die for you. My creed is love, and you are its only tenet. You have ravished me away by a power I cannot resist. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. As loneliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. You are always new. The last of your kisses have even the sweetest, the last smile the brightest, the last movement of the gracefulest. My love is selfish. I cannot breathe without you. I have so much of you in my heart. Dark when I listen, and for many a time I have been half in love with easeful death. Called him soft names, and many amused rhymed to take into the air my quiet breath. No more than ever seems it rich to die, to cease upon the midnight with no pain, while thou art pouring for thy soul abroad in such an ecstasy. I was never afraid of failure, for I would sooner fall than not be among the greatest. The only means of strengthening one's intellect is to make up one's mind about nothing, to let the mind be a furrow fair for all thoughts. Bright star, would I wear steadfast as thou art, not in lone splendor, hung aloft the night, and watching with eternal lids apart like nature's patience, sleepless arraignment of moving waters at their priest-like task of pure ablution round earth's human shores, or gazing on the new soft falling mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors, and no, yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pillowed upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel forever its soft fall, and swell awake forever in a sweet unrest, still to hear her tender taking breath, and so live ever, or else swoon at death. My imagination is a monastery, and I am its monk. Whatever the imagination seizes as beauty must be truth, whether it existed before or not. We read fine things, but never feel them to the full until we have gone the same steps as the offer. Don't be discouraged by a failure. It can be a positive experience. Failure is in a sends the highway to success, in as much as every discovery of what is false leads us to seek earnestly after what is true, and every fresh experience points out some form of error which we shall afterwards carefully avoid. There is nothing stable in the world. Uproar is your only music. Two souls with but a single thought, two hearts that beat as one. Now a soft kiss, by that kiss I vow an endless bliss. If poetry comes not as naturally as the leaves to a tree ahead, better not come at all. Here lies one whose name was writ on water. The excellence of every art is its intensity. My mind has been the most discontented, and restless. One that ever was put into a body too small for it. O solitude, if I must with thee dwell, let it not be among the jumbled heap of murky buildings. Climb with me, with steep nature's observatory, whence the dell, its flowery soaps, its rivers crystal swell, may seem a span. Let me thy vigils keep amongst burrows, boughs, pavilioned, where the deer's swift leap startles the wild bee from the foxglove bell. But though I'll gladly trace these scenes with thee, yet the sweet converse of an innocent mind, whose words are images of thoughts refined, is my soul's pleasure, and it sure must be almost the highest bliss of humankind when to thy haunts two kindred spirits flee. A feign of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness. I wish to believe in immortality. I wish to live with you forever. Oh, for a life of sensations rather than of thoughts. You cannot conceive how I ache to be with you. I would die for 1 hour. Dance and music sad, both together sane and mad. I wish I was either in your arms, full of faith, or that a thunderbolt would strike me down. I've turned that frown upside down. I was on the ground and I fell down. You were always new. The last of your kisses was ever the sweetest. The last smile the brightest. The last movement the graceful list. When you passed my window home yesterday, I was filled with as much admiration as if I had then seen you for the first time. Even if you did not love me, I could not help an entire devotion to you. Thou art a dream and fame, a fever of thyself. We have woven a web, you and I attached to this world, but a separate world of our own invention. Touch has a memory, oh say, love say, what can I do to kill it and be free? You have absorbed me. I have a sensation at the present moment as though I was dissolving. Nothing ever becomes real till experienced. Even a proverb is no proverb until your life has illustrated it. My chest of books divide amongst my friends. It ought to come like the leaves to the trees, or it better not come at all. I never knew before what such a love as you have made me feel was. I did not believe in it. My fancy was afraid of it, lest it should burn me up. But if you will fully love me, though there may be some fire, it will not be more than we can bear when moistened and bedewed with pleasures. My love has made me selfish. I cannot exist without you. I am forgetful of everything but seeing you again. My life seems to stop there. I see no further. You have absorbed me. I have a sensation at the present moment as though I was dissolved then. I should be exquisitely miserable without the hope of soon seeing you. I have been astonished that men could die martyrs for religion. I have shuddered at it. I shudder no more. I could be martyred for my religion. Love is my religion. I could die for that. I could die for you. I bade good morrow, and though thought to leave her far away behind. But cheerily, she loves me dearly. She is so constant to me and so kind. The creature has a purpose, and his eyes are bright with it. Her eyes are bright with it. But spitting fade far away, dissolve and forget. Raps I spit, and though when thou art weary, I'll Or where I'll find thee a bed of Moses and flowers, spitting for an hour, and flowers to pillow, rhyme forever. I will chamber through the clouds and exist. It keeps eternal whisperings around desolate shores. I have met with women whom I really think would like to be married to a poem and to be given away by a novel, razzle dazzle, a purple snapple. But not. I have met with women whom I really think would like to be married to a poem and be given away to by a novel, razzle dazzle, purple snapple. Ask yourself, my love, whether you are not very cruel to have so entrammeled me, so destroyed my freedom. Will you confess this in the letter you must write immediately, and do all you can do to consult me in it? Make it rich as a drought of poppies to intoxicate me. Write the softest words and kiss them, that I may at least touch my lips where yours have been. For myself I know not how to express my devotion to so fair a form. I want a brighter word than bright, a fairer word than fair. I never was in love yet. The voice and the shape of a woman has haunted me these 2 days. You speak of Lord Byron and me. There is this great difference between us. He describes what he sees. I describe what I imagine. Mine is the hardest task. When I have fears that I may cease to be, before my pen has gleaned my teeming brain, before high-piled books and carrot tree hold like rich garners of a full ripened grain. When I behold upon the nights a starred face, huge cloudy symbols of a high romance, and think that I may never live to trace their shadows with the magic hand of chance. And when I fell, fair creature of an hour, that I shall never look upon thee more, and never have relish in the fiery power of an unreflecting love. Then on the shore of the wide world I stand alone and think till love and fame to nothingness sink. When I have fears that I may cease to be, when I have fears that I may cease to be, this living hand, now warm and capable of earnest grasping, would, if it were cold, and in the icy silence of a tomb, so haunt by days and chill by dreaming nights, that thou would wish thine own heart dry of blood, so in my veins red life might stream again, and thou be conscious. Calm, see, here it is. I hold it towards you, bright star. A bright star would I were steadfast as thou art, not in lone splendor, hung aloft the night, and watching with eternal lids apart, like nature's patient, sleepless remedy of the moving waters at their priest-like task, appear at pollution around earth's human shores, or gazing on the new soft fallen mask, the snow upon the mountains and the moors. Yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pilled upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel forever its soft fall, and swell awake forever in a sweet unrest, still to hear her tender taking breath, and so live ever, or else swoon to death. A glance volar stern, a war itch so step wide, a dew wrapping again to you. Span poetry never endingly to you, yes, it's true. Feel forever its soft fall, and swell awake forever in a sweet unrest, still to hear her tender taking breath, and so live ever, or else swoon in death. Was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that music? Do I wake or sleep? If I should die, I have left no immortal work behind me, nothing to make my friends proud of my memory, but I have loved the principle of beauty in all things, and if I had a time I would have made myself remembered like a mermaid in seaweed. She dreams awake, trembling in her soft and chilly nest. Poetry should be great and unobtrusive, fame which enters into one's soul and does not startle it or amaze itself with itself, but with its subject. A fame of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams, and health and quiet breathing. Therefore on every mock grove are we wreathen, flowery braid band to bind us to the earth, spite of despotence of the earth, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and darkened ways, made for our search, and yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirit with such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprout in a shady boon for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world. They lit and clear rills that for themselves a cool and covert, and may gainest the hot seas of the mid-forest break, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such too in the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring onto us from the heavens brink. Shed no tear, oh shed no tear, the flower will bloom another year. Weep no more, oh weep no more, young buds asleep in the roots, a white core. Dry your eyes, oh dry your eyes, for I was taught in paradise to ease my breast of melody. Shed no tear. Overhead, look overhead, among the blossoms white and red. Look up, I flutter now on this flesh. Pomegranate, a bough, a saint me 'tis of the silvery bill, ever cures the good man's ill. Shed no tear, oh shed no tear, the flower will bloom another year. Adieu, adieu, I fly, adieu, I vanish into the heavens blue. Adieu, adieu, call the world if you please, the veil of soul making. Then you'll find out the use of the world. There are many intelligences of sparks of the divinity and millions, but they are not souls till they acquire identities, until each one is personality itself. Intelligences are atoms of perception. They know and they see, and they are pure. In short, they are God. How then are souls to be made? How then are these sparks which are God to have identity given them as ever to possess a bliss peculiar to each one's individual existence? How but in the medium of a world like this is a point I sincerely wish to consider, because I think it is a grander system of salvation than the Christian religion, or rather it is a system of spirit creation. I can scarcely express what I but dimly perceive, and yet I think I perceive it, that you may judge the more clearly. I will put it in the most homely form possible. I will call the world a school, instituted for the purpose of teaching little children to read. I will call the human heart the horn book used in that school, and I will call the child able to read the soul made from that school and its horn book. Do you see how necessary a world of pains and troubles is to school and intelligence, and make it a soul, a place where the heart must feel and suffer in 1,000 diverse ways, as various as the lives of men are, so various become their souls, and thus does God make individual beings souls, identical souls with the sparks of his own essence. This appears to me a faint sketch of a system of salvation which does not affront our reason and humanity through buried paths where sleepy twilight dreams the summertime away. It struck me with what quality went to form a man of achievement, especially in literature, and which Shakespeare possessed so enormously. I mean, negative capability, that is, when a man is capable of being in uncertainties, mysteries, doubts, without any irritable reason after fact and reason. I scarcely remember counting upon happiness. I look, and not for it, if it be not in the present hour. Nothing startles me beyond the moment. The setting sun will always set me to rights. If a sparrow come before my window, I take part in its existence and pick about the gravel. I must choose between despair and energy. I choose the latter. When by my solitary hearth I sit, when no fair dreams before my mind's eye flit, and but bare heath of life presents no bloom. Sweet hope, ethereal balm upon me shed, and wave by silver pinions o'er my head. Season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, a close bosom, a friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round thatched eaves run, to bend with apples the mossed cottage trees, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells of the sweet kernel, to set bud and more, and still more later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has overbrimmed their clammy cells. About a poem needs understanding through the senses. The point of diving into a lake is not immediately to swim to the shore, but to be in the lake, to luxuriate in the sensation of water. You do not work the lake out. It is an experience beyond thought. Poetry soothes and emboldens the soul to accept the mystery. Then on the shore of the wide world I stand alone and think. To love and fame, to nothingness do sink. I saw pale kings and princes, two pale warriors, a death pale where they cry la belle. A dame, a sans mercy, happy and frail. I saw their starved lips and the gloom with a horrid warning gaped wide, and I awoke and found me here on the cold hillside. And this is why I sojourn here alone and palely loitering, though the siege is withered from the lake and no birds sing. Beauty is truth, beauty. I am profoundly enchanted by the flowing complexity in you. Can death be asleep when life is but a dream, and scenes of bliss past as a phantom by death on death? Think of my pleasure and solitude in comparison of my commerce with the world. There I am a child, there they do not know me, not even my most intimate acquaintance. I give into their feelings as though I were refraining from irritating a little child. Some think me a middling, others silly, others foolish. Everyone thinks he sees my weak side against my will, when in froth it is with my will. I am content to be fought. All this because I have in my own breast so a great resource. This is one great reason why they like me so, because they can all show to advantage in a room and eclipse from a certain tact. One who is reckoned to be a good poet. I hope I am not here playing tricks to make the angels weep. I think not, for I have and not the least contempt for my species, and though it may sound paradoxical, my greatest elevations of soul leave me every time more humbled. Enough of this, though in your love for me you will not think it enough. Close of lovely eyes to lovely dreams, lovers of loneliness and wandering of upcast eye, and tender pondering thee must I praise. All other glories that smile us on to tell delightful stories. Life is divine chaos. It's messy and it's supposed to be that way. I have two luxuries to brood over in my walks, your loveliness and the hour of my death. Oh, that I could have possession of them both in the same minute. I have a habitual feeling of my life, my real life having passed, and that I am now leading a posthumous existence. Let us away, my love, with happy speed. There are no ears to hear, or eyes to see, drowned all in Rhenish and the sleepy med. Awake, arise, my love, and fearless be, for o'er the southern moors I have home for thee. Alas, when passion is both meek and wild, the air is all softness. Dark when I listen, and for many a time I have been half in love with easeful death. Philosophy will clip an angel's wings. I conquer all mysteries by rule and line. Empty the haunted air and gnomed minute, unweave a rainbow as it erewhile made the tender person. Let me melt into a shade. The world is too brutal for me. I'm glad there is such a thing as the grave. I am sure I shall never have any rest till I get there. Rappers beware. I find I cannot exist without poetry. I love you the more, and that I believe you had liked me for my own sake and for nothing else. And how they kissed each other's tremulous eyes. Love is my religion. I could die for it. My mind has been the most discontented and restless one that ever was put into a bloody body, a body too small for it. I never felt my mind repose upon anything with complete and undistracted enjoyment upon no person but you. When you are in the room, my thoughts never fly out the window. You always concentrate my whole senses. Scenery is fine, but human nature is finer. Already with thee, tender is the night, but here there is no light. My heart aches, and a drowsy numbness pains my senses, though of hemlock I had drunk, or emptied some dull opiate to the drains. 1 minute passed, and left words had sunk 'tis not about through envy, but by happy lot, but being too happy and by happiness that thou light-winged dryad of the trees, and some melodious plot of beech and green and shadows numberless, scenest of summer in full-throated ease. I see a lily on thy brow with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheek a fading rose, a vast wivereth too. Pensive they sit and roll their languid eyes. I will imagine you, Venus, tonight, and pray to your star like a heathen, a bright star would I were steadfast as thou art, not in lone splendor hunt aloft of the night and watching with eternal lids apart, like nature's patient a sleepless enmity. Softly the breezes from the forest came, softly they blew beside the taper's flame. Clear was the song from Philomel's far bout, where grateful of the incense from the lime tree flower, mysterious wild, the far heard trumpet's tone, lovely the moon, and ether all alone, sweet to the converse of these happy mortals, as that of busy spirits when the portals are closed in the west, or that soft humming we hear around when Hesperus is coming sweet, beat their sleep. Indeed, poetry should strike the reader as a word of his own highest thoughts and appear almost a remembrance. Well, let me lead her gently over the brook, watch her half smiling lips and downward look. Well, let me for one moment touch her wrist, let me one moment to hear her breathing list, and as she leaves me, may she often turn her eyes, her fair eyes looking through her locks, a burn, a dark when I listen, and for many a time I have been half in love with easeful death, called him soft names, and many amused rhyme to take into the air my quiet breath. When it is moved then on luxurious wings, the soul is lost in pleasant smotherings. No sooner had I stepped into these pleasures than I began to think of rhymes and measures. The air that floated by me seemed to say, right spit, thou wilt never have a better day. Tall oaks branch, charmed by the earnest star's dream, and so dream all a night without a stir. I feel more and more every day as my imagination strengthens, but I do not live in this world alone, but in 1,000 worlds. When old age shall this generation waste, thou shalt remain in the midst of utter woe, then ours a friend to a man to whom thou sayest beauty is truth, beauty, that is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know. The excellency of every art is its intensity, capable of making all disagreeable evaporate. I am sailing with thee through the dizzy sky. How beautiful thou art. There is an electric fire in human nature tending to purify, so that among these human creatures there is continually some birth of heroism. The pity is that we must wonder at it, and as we should, at finding the pearl in the rubbish. When shall we pass a day alone? I have had 1,000 kisses, for which with my whole soul I thank love, but if you should deny me the 1,000 in verse, 'twould but put me to the proof how great a misery I could live through, thou still unravished bride of quietness, thou foster child of silence and slow time, still then historian who canst thus express a flowery tale more sweetly than our rhyme. What leaf fringed legend haunts about thy shape of deities or morals, or of both, and Tempe of the dales of Arcady, when what men or gods are these, what maidens loth, what mad pursuit, what struggle to escape, what pipes and timbrels, what wild ecstasy. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Therefore ye soft pipes play on, not to the sensual ear, but more endeared pipe to the spirit of deities of no tone. A fair youth beneath the trees, thou canst not leave thy song, nor ever can thou those trees be bare. Bold lover, never canst thou kissed, though when near the goal, yet do not grieve, she cannot fade, though thou hast not thy bliss, forever wilt thou love, and she be fair. Happy boughs that cannot shed your leaves, nor ever bid spring adieu, and happy melodist unwearied for every ever piping songs forever new. A more happy love, happy love, forever warm and still to be enjoyed, forever painting, panting, and for ever young, all breathing human passion far above that leaves a heart high sorrowful and cloyed, a burning forehead and a parching tongue. Who are these coming to the sacrifice? To what green altar? A mysterious priest leaves vow that heifer alone at the skies, and all her silken flanks with garlands dressed. What little town by river or seashore or mountain built with peaceful citadel is emptied of this folk, this pious morn, and little town by streets forevermore will silent be, and not a soul to tell why about our desolate can ever return. Attic shape, a fair attitude with bread of marble men and maidens overwrought with forest branches and the trodden weed about silent form douse tease us out of fall as doth eternity cold pastoral when old age shall this generation waste. Thou shalt remain in the midst of utter woe, then ours a friend to man to whom thou sayest beauty is truth beauty, that is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know. Well, there I go, spit notes into my phone.